have a water bottle in my hand whose weight is 100 grams. And I am applying a force which is less than 100 grams. So what will happen? I am not able to lift the water bottle. But what if I am applying the same amount of the force which is of the mass? So the mass of the water bottle is 100 grams, and if I am applying the force which is similar to the mass, so what happens that I can lift my water bottle. But what will happen if I increase the force of my hand, but the mass will remain same only 100 grams. So what will happen? I can play with my bottle, I can do catch and catch. So if I replace my hand with a bar magnet, and I have replaced the water bottle with a bar magnet, and I am able to see that the North Pole and the North Pole are facing each other, and the South Pole and the South Pole are at the top. So in the earlier class we have saw that the North Pole and the North Pole repel to each other, and the South Pole and the South Pole also repel to each other, but the North Pole and a South Pole, or a South Pole or a North Pole, when come together they attract each other. So taking this as our theory, we will see that how a train can float in air. So without wasting time, let's start our video. This is Omkar Padhi and welcome to Talented Sir. So before starting this video, I am going to explain you about electromagnet. Why? Because electromagnet has a very specific work rule for this project of maglev train. Maglev trains are the train which fly or float in the air. So what are electromagnet? Electromagnet. For this circuit, you need a metal and a battery which is providing some energy to it. So what happens if you provide energy in a specific quantity and a specific quantity to a specific metal, what happens? The metal will get charged up and it will be converted to electromagnet. So what happens here? We know that the North Pole and the North Pole repels to each other. So remember this, because this is going to help to learn that how a maglev train works. So for maglev train, what we need? A maglev train's body. So what happens? Consider this as a maglev train's body. So what happens that a maglev train's body has a base which is beside to it. So what happens? I place some North Pole magnet which is facing the track. So what you have to think, that North Pole is facing the track, so the South Pole is getting attracted to the train, so that North Pole could balance in the air. So what happens? All the North Poles are attracted to the train, and the South Pole are also north. So at the track, what we have is again the North Pole which are facing upside, and the South Pole which are facing the downside. So what happens? We have a track, and the North Pole is facing up and South Pole are facing down. So what we can see, that North Pole and North Pole are there. So what will happen? The repulsion force will happen. So this train could float in the air without any wheels or any extra energy. So we learned that how it floats. But you have a doubt in your mind. If it floats, then how it will move? And one more thing, that the down magnets are electromagnets and the above magnets are the permanent magnet. What does the electromagnets do? That electromagnets does not have a fixed magnitude of magnetic force. We can change the magnetic force of it, and the permanent magnet, by the name, the permanent means the magnitude that the magnet is providing is fixed. So what happens? The electromagnets are there which are being controlled by the guides. So what happens? It gets repelled. Now we will learn that how a train moves. By this also we need magnet. Think that I am a train, and there a North Pole, South Pole, North Pole, South Pole, North Pole, South Pole. In that pattern on the train, it is attached to it. It is attached to the North Pole, South Pole pattern. and this side also North Pole, South Pole, North Pole, South Pole, it is present. So you know about how in the train, outside of the train we have the North Pole, South Pole pattern. But we also in the walls we have a pattern of North Pole, South Pole, North Pole, South Pole, North Pole, South Pole, and vice versa in here. So what happens when the train gets floated? When the train gets floated, when the train gets floated, all the south poles have been done de-electromagnetized, means they are not magnetized. So what happens? My north pole gets attracted to the south pole. So when my north pole gets attracted to the south pole gets demagnetized and north pole is there. So what happens? My train which have the south pole gets attracted to the north pole. So when I came to the north pole is demagnetized and my south pole gets attracted to the north pole. So what happens? My train gets started moving. And you think what will happen if my train is going very slow like this? But this is not the way. The world's fastest train, the Shanghai train, who has a speed of 600 kilometers per hour, works on this Maglev train. Who has a speed of 600 kilometers of hours. And the good news for you that India is also going to construct a Maglev train that is going to be built in Delhi, and it is going to be powered by BHEL. So this was in our topic, and hope that you liked our video. So please like, share and subscribe my channel. Thank you.